Friends, welcome. Good evening. It's 8:08 p.m. on Monday, January 18th. It's Dr. King Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Day is truly one of my favorite days, although it's always a both and world when we experience the loss of our heroes and of the freedom fighters and wisdom keepers and saintly folks on earth. So welcome. It is a great honor to be with you. My name's Jaishree. I am the creator of the Soul Culture Yoga School, Soul Mapping Matrix. And tonight is day 13 of our live Rise of the Sacred Sovereign Challenge. This is a special video because this is part of a 21-day challenge where I am rising in my own sacred sovereignty to stand with you and show up no matter what. For 21 days, I am an ascension coach. I am a yoga educator. I am a mystic and a mom, and I am the author of 2 books, Discover Your Bliss and Soul Ascension. Ascension coach is really the only word or words that I can share right now. Sometimes I have been called a spiritual bridge builder. I'm known for nourishing and nurturing bliss, and that's fine. Whatever I am for you is what I am in the moment, because this is about relationship, and however I can serve you in this moment is the best that I can do. So I wanted to do something a little bit different tonight as I did last night and read from my newest book, Soul Ascension. Ascension, meaning that moment of aha and awakening that we are all experiencing individually as well as on a collective. 2020 showed up and it gave us an opportunity in some ways to wake up out of our slumber. In fact, by putting us back in on a bit of a timeout to tune in and check out what was going on. And in that time, we were able to tap in to our highest nature and wisdom. But that isn't where it ends, right? 2020 was like a fertile ground for now, this 2021 and next era, which is truly a completely new time in history that we can look back on someday and say, wow, we were there for that time. But the seeds have been planted, and now the wheat as well as the chaff are growing, and we need to be that wheat in that new earth. We need to grow and share together, and that can mean a million different things. And you watching this right now, whether it's recorded or live, you are part of that conversation. So my greatest honor really is in being in relationship to you, with you at this time, where the landscape is so, wow, it's ripe, it's fertile, and it's painful. It's painful to be embodied as a human. It's especially painful for many of us who have some kind of ability to see, hear, or feel between the worlds. And so many folks that used to be called like crazy or woo-woo, or the healers, the mystics, the yogis, the prayers, the religious folks, everyone has the opportunity right now to step into their greatness and to feel a sense of relief as we come into this age of Aquarius time, however you want to call it, however many call it, and really show up and offer our gifts and our talents. So while there are so many people you could be spending time with, I'm grateful that you're spending time with me right now, and I hope to be of service. Tonight's theme is resistance and surrender. So what is it that we are resisting? Let's be honest. If there's any information that comes our way and we say, no, I don't want to hear it, la, 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 and I don't mean the way like humble folks will do this when someone is speaking highly of them, like the Vaishnavas do. That's not what I mean. I mean someone who's truly in resistance to seeing, hearing, and feeling what is actually happening in a way that allows them to grow. And it's amazing that it's Dr. King Day, because He was a person who was not afraid, not only of speaking his truth and coming from a place of divinity and divine guidance and power, but he was someone who knew that there were many sides on the spectrum. And he became very, very, very expert at holding the line of being himself and speaking truth to power and truth to justice and truth to divinity, while being kind and not being an a-hole. And that's what's so hard. We're literally reframing what it means to be sacred and sovereign, what it means to be kind, what it means to be divine, what it means to be magical, whatever language you use to open up the landscape of what is possible in the higher timeline, in the higher, happier, more blissful way of being. Whatever language we use to upgrade, there is some surrender necessary in this. If you have any questions or comments, please share. I absolutely know that you know that there is a moment where humility comes in and we fight it. We fight and we resist learning. I've done it. We've all done it. Our egos show up, and our egos are necessary. Our egos are kind of out there in front of us, moving us forward as spiritual people on the path. But I'm talking about the resistance to what is, not the resistance to changing our beliefs. I'm speaking about resistance to what is, which is anything being presented in front of us that we have the opportunity to be in relationship to. And just knowing that this is about souls having relationships. I mean, a soul doesn't have a relationship with AI or artificial or a computer. A soul is having a relationship with themselves and with others who are building the technology, programming the technology, upgrading the technology of the computer, right? If the computer is not a soul, but there are so many souls involved in that project that's in front of you with the computer, right? We're using fourth dimensional. We've been using that technology forever. Technology is off the hook. Technology is way, way up here. So I don't understand personally. Well, I do understand. Sorry, I apologize. Of course I understand the resistance to talking about AI or fourth dimensions or fifth dimensions when that's the only way you are hearing the video right now. That's how it is. And if it was a little old IBM from early on, there is, a hardware system in that computer, and then there is new software upgrading it. But the computer isn't the thing I'm having a relationship to. I'm having a relationship to myself while I'm using that thing, that tool. And all my stuff, all my trauma, all my triggers are coming up. That's why resistance is an important conversation. If we're having resistance to that which we don't know, or we're having resistance to ourselves in relationship to something, it doesn't matter which way you look at it, you are having a relationship. And the soul mapping matrix for us is the process of navigating those relationships. And resistance happens in the first realm. It's the first moment. It's in our awareness. I may be bringing this up because there's so much information out there available right now. And, in some ways to call myself any kind of coach or teacher just feels crazy, because who am I when there are such better, more powerful teachers teaching much more essential, hardwired hardware information, like ancient information. But that is what I'm attempting to teach as a bridge builder, or at least open up to. My work is more in the vein of talking about or building relationship between the two ends. You could call it ancient wisdom to new age. You could call it psychic to third dimension material world, computers to humans, whatever you want to call it. My goal is to be a bridge builder, and that is coming up right now in a really, really important, powerful way. And I am humbled every day through pain and through the experience of being a human, but I also know I'm going to show up. And I'm going to offer something. And one of the ways I do that is through books. So, and talking about resistance and talking about the surrender that's so necessary, I'm going to read from Soul Ascension, which is, I'm reading the online version of it, but this is my second book. It's a very beautiful book, actually. And for those of you who would like to read it, it is available for free online at jaishreeyoga.com. It's really nice. Oh, it's me, or it's the picture of me. And in chapter 1, Ascension Basics, we're going to read from this tonight on this day 13, Rise of the Sacred Sovereign. Thank you again for being here. And if you like this video, please press like and share it, because that's the way it's going to go out. And hopefully I'll give some kind of nugget that you can run away with and live on for a week or so. That's the best I can offer. It's what I did with classes and retreats and so many other offerings through the years. So, surrender. Ascension means flowing with reality, holding the intensity, the possibility, and the unknown while moving forward with it. This world is being presented with unprecedented change. It's not slowing down, it's accelerating. Technology, media, politics, healthcare, freedom, body autonomy, our rights are all on the platform of revolution. And I wrote this on January 1st of 2020, so over a year ago. How we ascend, these moments, quiet or loud, are the shift we are experiencing. Shift happens. How we ascend means how we flow with the bends like music, how we prepare our minds without going all militia, how we feel gorgeous while allowing in the ugly. Each day, a drama is being played out, a new melody in the works. Our work is to grow with these moments, these vibrations, and our birthright is to expand and draw out the very best of ourselves and those around us. I attempt to proceed forward in life with caution, humor, bravery, and openness. I am paying attention. I am not letting negativity rule me, as I do not consent to feed it. And I admit to having an agenda. Everyone has an agenda. I wish to be present to the opportunity to evolve as a servant, in love, in joy, and awake. I am trying not to be an asshole, but it happens. Paramount to this process is the fact that I am manifesting at an immediate rate. What I say comes to fruition at an accelerated speed. How I used to manifest over years now happens in minutes. Does anyone have that experience of manifesting things and connections happening and coincidences happening at an incredible rate? This forces me to be incredibly mindful. I feel the responsibility of this power that I wield, this proprietary blend of influential manifestation. It has the capacity to be cutting as well as benevolent. This manifestation endowment is not specific to me. Anyone can tap into this ability in 2020 and beyond, but not everyone will. You are here, hearing this, reading this. Obviously, you are on the road to mastery yourself. But what does that mean? What is it really to manifest? It's a big buzzword, manifest. And how does the process begin? Another valid query: is this professed ascension process one way, or might it actually be both an ascending or ascending and descending process? If we are all living together on this planet and breathing in the same air, we are also hearing the same sounds. At least we are all accessible to it or have access to it. We are also feeling the same energies, or at least we are all being introduced to them. There is so much negativity at our fingertips. Energetically, it's being expelled out upon us like garlic breath. It's intense. Higher and lower vibrational beings, somewhere on the spectrum of good to evil, are attempting to play us like puppets. Somewhere that's happening. Perhaps it is they who put the people into power, so many levels up and so many down. Perhaps it is they who are whispering in our ears and in minds. This can be literal or metaphorical. And who are they? Who has the power to set us up, moving in one direction psychologically, to split us ideologically? Who has the know-how to move us like cattle herd towards their agenda? And does that mean they have the ability to tap into our very souls? I don't deign to pretend I have any actual answers. I do know, and this is way more important, that there is the positive, higher level network of energy, matter, and soul being that extends beyond this material grid. I believe there are people like you that carry wisdom traditions so sacred, so old, and so much more powerful than their negative counterparts. I believe in the light-working warriors who are grounding in the higher vibratory and thus lower density energy for those who cannot. These souls and this primordial positive radiation are as real as can be. These bountiful and beautiful, advanced, civilized energies are coming through to help shepherd in our supreme joy, empathy, organization, and our most desired excellence as humans. Confidence, trust, cooperation. We can tap into all of this. We can choose it over negativity. How much agency do we have to ride the waves the way we wish? Are we bobbing freely, or are we being pushed down again and again? Are we simply talking to ourselves? Is the tape playing our own sad emotional wounds? Is it just trauma, or is there more? Is there something higher happening in the ethers for us regular folks? We're also regular. What is the science of this? And how can we assume accountability and responsibility enough to be in both surrender and empowerment? There are many of you and many others in this world right now who may not be hearing this, but are tapped into connecting to it. This is a both and world, my friends. Evil and good always exist and will always exist. The polarity, the duality, they exist because this is the material world. But we individually are souls. We are whole, we are unbreakable, and we are good. Sat, Chit, Ananda. These three Vedic Sanskrit words, eternal, Sat, eternal in our position. Chitta, consciousness, awake, totally awake all the time, our soul. And Ananda, bliss, the potency of sweet, delicious relationship. These are what make up the soul. No fire, nothing can hurt us. Not really. But this world is filled. It is a cesspool and it is a joyful bouquet of fresh flowers. It is both. And our resistance to experiencing anything that shows up that we are available to be in relationship with. Not all the time. I have migraines. They put me down for days or hours or days upon days. I understand pain. I'm not saying we have to accept everything, that we have to show up for everything, but that which we can show up to and hold, there will be resistance to what we don't know yet because we haven't remembered, but we have the ability to transform that by seeing it as a portal and an opportunity for growth. And that's surrender. That is surrender. Satya, I'll feed you in a second. My cat's hungry. I believe that the time is coming for us to be able to speak to the subjects that make us most uncomfortable in a way that is invigorating, because we individually and as a collective are totally capable of having amazing conversations about reform, the way Dr. King talked to, about expansion, about beauty, about growth, and about God in various forms with various names. But to do that, we also have to recognize that there is an inherent dis-ease as well, not just in this country, obviously, which is America I'm in right now, but in the material realm itself. See, the Vedas, they talk about this time over and over again. The Bhagavad Gita, and so many times in the Ramayana, there's always a demon on earth. There's always bad people. There's always evil that can come through a good soul just by being asleep, just by being in a dream state, just by drinking too much alcohol. These are various ways. There's nothing woo-woo about this. It's very sober as I always am. I watched a TV show the other day that was like coming out of, going into a illusion state. This life is way more dramatic, and there is so much information coming through. Finding our center, being balanced, that is the hard work. That is the soul mapping work. And the soul mapping matrix, as we would call it, is to come out of the old program that isn't real anyway, that is full of illusion and full of darkness, and to step into our highest consciousness, which is an ability to hold that which is uncomfortable and to be in relationship with it. That means resistance is there, but we move through the resistance and be uncomfortable in awareness and let it be ugly and all that stuff, and then end up in surrender, in a higher consciousness of being awake and surrender. Not the same as giving up. Oh God, no. Hi, Jess. It's definitely not just giving up. If this day, in this time, in this hero we speak of and honor today shows us. So, that is my humble offering today. Hi, James. Thank you so much. That is my... Oh, my Lord. You guys. Because she's just wearing a diaper, so we were keeping her... Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to download Soul Ascension, it is available on Jaishree Yoga. Oh, now she's crying. She wanted to see you so much. We just don't want the Facebook police or any people getting upset when she's on camera. She loves to take off her clothes as soon as she's on camera. And thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow for day 14. Perhaps we'll read a little bit more. And I pray that your resistance to what is softens so that you also can feel that surrender that has been the highest, most illuminated golden ticket for myself on this path and has helped me manifest all the many things that I have been very grateful and humbled to manifest. And I pray you're having a peaceful night, and I pray to meet you on the path, and I hope hope one day to connect with you as a guide or a way shower on your ascension path. There's very few things that I haven't either experienced or been through or understood from other lifetimes or this lifetime myself. So if I can meet you at your resistance and surrender with you, I look forward to helping guide you towards your own highest intentional blissful dreams as a reality too. Until then, bless you. Thank you. God bless Dr. Martin Luther King and all the other way showers and heroes who are bold enough to show up in resistance and yet surrender to the highest call and be beacons for light. Peace.